We got some news on EVO. Unsurprising, I think, that they've transitioned not only to online EVO, but the kind of changes that they've made make sense. You know, the whole joke at the beginning of the year, and it had to be a joke because if you didn't laugh about it, you would cry about it, is how bad the netcode was for all the games at EVO this year. EVO gets canceled, and we can't allow, everybody to gather up, so we have to do EVO online. What? 5 weekends? Anyway. This music. KI being there is pretty tight. See you online. So, we have our dates set for EVO this year. 5 weekends of fighting game action, right, is what they've said. Unsurprising that they're splitting this up, right? Given that they are running exhibitions for everything and they're running 4 open bracket tournaments, I think it probably makes sense to split this up a little bit so that it's not just all crowded on one weekend. You don't really have to do it on one weekend because, I mean, it's not in one place. We can just have it like, hey, one weekend we'll do this game, one weekend we'll do this game, etc. So there's something obviously missing in the center of the screen here, you guys might have noticed. That's because there's no Smash. I'm really curious as to why. Some people are just saying the online play is so bad that it's like not on there because just the netcode is so bad and you can't play online and blah, blah, blah. Let's be honest. It's not like the netcode is great for Tekken or Unite or Samsho or Grand Blue or Soul Calibur. Those games all fucking suck online too. So I think you have to assume that there's something going on with Nintendo. And largely, you probably have to assume that Nintendo generally is okay with events happening in the US for Smash Ultimate. And by okay, I mean they just ignore it. My assumption is that whatever these exhibitions are or whatever was going on, maybe it had a prize pool and then obviously that had an issue with Nintendo, or maybe they're planning to do something in another region outside of the US. It's probably something like that. So that's my assumption of what's going on. And they haven't made any announcements of like, hey, you know, Smash is definitely not coming back or it is coming back. They just said like the original lineup and they didn't show Smash here. So I'm sure there's some wiggle room here about whether it'll come back or not. But it's funny because you saw all the Smash players saying stuff like, thank God it's not even going to happen. You know what I mean? That is a bad sign for the state of your game online, right? That people are happy it's not even going to be played competitively there. This game is so dog shit online that nobody wants it to be there. And like, let's be honest, the reason this game's not here is not because it's bad online, because most of these games are bad online. In fact, they're all so bad that we had to add 4 new titles to have actual open bracket tournaments at EVO instead of the games that were there. Yeah, I think it's probably something about the publisher or developer situation with Nintendo, and they're probably trying to do something. And it says, notice the interesting thing is that for it says special exhibitions and content. I wonder what the other kinds of content they're going to create is. Yeah, maybe announcements, I guess. That's true. EVO always does the announcements. That's a good read. Yeah, the netcode for these games is so bad that we couldn't even run any of them online. Instead, where did you have to come back to? You couldn't live with your failure, and where did that bring you? Right back to rollback. You thought you could escape it? It's inevitable. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. These 2 lines right here, these are Ed Boon's eyebrows, razor sharp, ready to slice into your neck. You thought you could get rid of Mortal Kombat 11? Not on his watch. Killer Instinct's back. This is the old logo from Season 1 and not the green and purple logo from Season 3. Them's fighting herds? Alright, this game I know the least about for sure. And Skullgirls is the last one, obviously. God, that mix-up was so fucked up. Skullgirls, yeah. So I think it makes sense, right? Those games all have good netcode. A lot of these people were upset about Power Rangers. My suspicion is that Power Rangers is having trouble maybe because of the fact that you can't buy it outside the US, right? I didn't know this was an issue, by the way. But I had a bunch of people commenting on my Power Rangers videos or tweeting me about it and saying, hey, I saw you play this game and I went to get it and I like can't buy it in my region. Maybe you can also get it in Europe, but like maybe it's somewhere else as well. I don't know, but people were saying there's lots of places you can't buy Power Rangers. Maybe that had a reason why. I'm not sure, honestly. There could have been a million reasons why Power Rangers didn't. They could have just been like, I just don't want Power Rangers. But it is unfortunate because Power Rangers is pretty cool. The Tournament of Champions, the that's Marvel too. I think it's really cool though that Them's Fighting Herds is like getting a shot at EVO, right? Everybody who plays it is like, this game's fantastic. Like, people told me, yo, when you try Them's Fighting Herds, show up with a list of things that you wish a fighting game would have and see how many of those things that game has. It's delivering with all of those things that people really care about, right? It's like a really satisfying thing to see that everybody's realistic, right? You just know that the netcode for those other games just couldn't cut it. I think that's a really good sign, and it tells you how important your net play is, right? If your game has bad UX and your game has bad net play, like, it's a fucking drag to play your game online. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels so bad to have to be in a mental breakdown every time you go online, and you have to wait in the lobby, and you have to get ready for the next battle, and then the connection's bad, and then you have to go back to loading, and then it takes 5 minutes to do that, and you're just like, fuck, it takes so long to even just try to play a goddamn match online. And even when you do get in a match, it's laggy and it doesn't feel good, right? In Skullgirls, I was playing people from all over the country, and I didn't even know where the fuck exactly they were from. It just said Midwest, it just said East Coast. I was like, whatever, and I just played people online, and it was tight. When I played Power Rangers, I don't know where the fuck these motherfuckers were from, bro. I didn't even know what continent they were on, and they were just joining the lobby, and we were playing Power Rangers online, and I was like, tight, that's sick. At Sajam, can I ask why Mango was part of the video? Well, when I was cutting together the EVO video, because as you know, I'm the official editor for EVO, I thought to myself, you know, Mango's been playing a lot of Valorant lately. I should see if there's any footage of Mango around, and I'll just cut some of that together, and, you know, bing, bang, boom, I'll just drop it. So I dropped in this sick new track I've been working on, and I cut together, I don't know, I don't cut together the EVO video. I have no idea why Mango's there.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh?
This one made me smile ear to ear when I saw this one. That smile, look at that pure smile. That's the smile of a man who's playing a rollback netcode game online. That's what they look like in the wild. Paul Rollback. He changed his name to Rudd. He was Rudback, but it didn't sound as good. So he changed his name to Paul Rudd when he went into the movies. He's an old friend of mine. He used to be Paul Rollback. Big supporter of rollback games, as you guys know. You know, it's interesting because I don't know how they're going to do these online exhibitions for, like, Marvel. What's, like, the best way to play Marvel online? I mean, that's the other issue. You know, a lot of people were like, why isn't Melty Blood in the lineup? I mean, Melty Blood it's not an official version, the version that has great netcode. Same thing with Melee, right? It's the under the bleachers version of the game. You know, you can't really use that as, like, an official EVO title, probably. So I think those games, that's probably what the issue is. I'm actually mad hyped to try Them's Fighting Herds. It's the only game of the 4 that got added that I haven't tried yet. And I was going to play it anyway because you guys are fucking cretins. I started playing Skullgirls. I started playing Power Rangers. You guys have been asking me to play those games for like a century, right? So I was like, okay, let me play these games. The minute I get on Skullgirls, hey, when's Fighting Herds? Like, brother, you guys asked me to play Skullgirls. I played it for 2 days and you want me to go to the next game already? Is this how you guys live your lives? You know how it is. When's Kunimitsu? When's Julia? I love Ganryu. Ganryu shows up. You're like, when's Melina? It's just the next character every time. You can't satisfy them, is what I've realized. Can I use my Illuminati privileges to spoil the EVO announcement? I can't even use my Illuminati privilege to know when this announcement was going to go live. I got no Illuminati privileges at all. They don't tell me a damn thing. I wonder if any of the announcements that were supposed to happen might not happen because EVO's online now, you know what I mean? Or maybe it will happen because EVO's online. I don't know. It could be the opposite, right? It could be because stuff like Tokyo Game Show has been canceled, and many other, like E3 has been canceled, like so many events where people generally announce stuff. I wonder if fighting game developers will look at EVO to do announcements because these other places just don't exist anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're not happening this year. I think a KOF 15 trailer seems likely, right? Considering it's supposed to be at the end of the year. So showing stuff off at EVO since they did stuff at EVO last year, that seems pretty likely. If that KOF doesn't have rollback, I'm going to be fucking furious. Considering that like all SNK lately has done is twerk on everybody by like making all their old titles have rollback. Like if they somehow don't have rollback in the new KOF, that shit's gonna suck. I'm happy for the games that made it into EVO though, for sure. I know some people were kind of upset. They're like, man, these games were not at EVO before and now they've made it in. Like there's some people whose attitudes about these games coming into EVO is kind of negative. And I don't really think I feel that way at all. In fact, I feel like the fact that these games made it there and EVO decided not to run these games, to me, that's good, right? Because it's like, hey, we have to be honest. We have to be honest that these games have bad net play, right? We got to be honest about King of Clubs. What's good? We have to be honest that these games have shit net play, right? We can't run them online. So I think if EVO just like buried their head and ran these games online instead of adding new tournaments, to me, that would be much worse than just being like, well, those games all have shit net play. Let's just add games with real net code. To me, that makes way more sense. Well, like, what's the W here? If EVO runs all of its old games, nobody's happy, right? We're all like, boo, these games all suck online. This shit's trash. If EVO adds these new games, then people are like, boo, like, you know, fucking, I hate that they added these new games. Like, these games were great. They should have been in EVO anyway. It's like, okay, well, a lot of games should have been in EVO. I see a lot of people dunking on Smash fans that their game's not going to have exhibitions or whatever. If you've never been a part of a community where your game does not get included at EVO, I don't think you probably know what it's like to be excited for EVO, look forward to it, your game not be at EVO, and just feel that sinking feeling of like, damn, my game's not at EVO this year. Am I even going to go to EVO? Is other events going to run my game? Like, there is like still a sinking feeling about it. Despite many games that don't make it to EVO still having other tournaments and stuff, it does suck to get your game cut from anything, including EVO. I mean, I was a KI fan. How do you think I felt when KI didn't make it back to EVO, you know? KI had 3 years there, though, which is, to me, pretty satisfying. For sure, the people who are like dunking on other people for their game being shitty, they probably, first of all, they probably don't even play the game that they play. And B, they're just looking for an opportunity to stir up trouble, right? Uh-oh. Whoo-wee, that got me good. I was about to open up Hello Darkness, my old friend, but I didn't want my VOD to get destroyed. Mentally untouchable. Oh man, this is a fan. Who dug this up? How do y'all remember this shit? Listen. It's actually cheaper to buy Skullgirls than it is to buy dirt. There was a picture of dirt on Amazon, and a bag of dirt costs like $4, and Skullgirls cost $2.99. Can you believe that? Or $1.99. Can you believe that shit? Skullgirls is legitimately cheaper than dirt.